So I got a fucking shock attack when I what do you call it? Um, let me think of the word. Let me see how if I cannot even think of this word. This is another word for expect. Expect. Um, yeah, what I anticipated is what I was looking for. Maybe not the word, but when I anticipated that my laptop even could have been misplaced by these fucking fucktards, right? I just haven't. There was hardly anything that could, it was getting me physically uh, motivated enough to take any action. Okay, the family. Okay, overcoming my own fears and uh, uh, especially in this nighttime. दिन में कुछ नहीं कर रहा है night time में actually ना one app just मेरा laptop का मेरे को आया कि maybe this should have misplaced and I swear to God this is 3 in the night. I was going to fucking create a fucking chaos and no matter what fucking consequences because my laptop had it's one of my another irrecoverable things and which could have been misplaced by these fucktards including my books which this motherfucker gave and what triggered me right now was I was just watching this Tyler Perez's video and he was standing with these fucking Ferraris, yeah, $1 million Ferraris, and then he pointed to his bookshelf and mentioned that his books are much more valuable, which he hadn't even studied, and so was for my books, which this motherfucking asshole gave away, and along with other things that I value, a few on the top of my head, my dog, Tom, my books, and my Sega disc, even though I still have it. I mean, I'm pretty sure that data was corrupted when in that blackout episode they must have done on me, right? Obviously they did it on me. I mean, must have been got physically damaged in that episode only, and I'm pretty sure it got damaged during that time only. In fact, I'm totally sure. Yeah. So yeah, my dog, my school books, and my this uh, disc, data disc, and yes, obviously took me out of college. Yes, my college, my study, my education, and so obviously the whole career part of my life. And I'm just thinking of the physical things which he is. Yeah. I mean, yes, countless things, man. They have displayed so much of my uh, priceless stuff that house and this laptop thing they gave me. I was going, do whatever it takes to get my laptop and was going to search the whole fucking house no matter what street in the night and I was going to create a chaos and even though it's been a month and I haven't taken any provocative action, single provocative action, despite the amount of hate that I have. Okay, mainly because of my own safety and there are 2-3 things mainly that are holding me back. One is the risk factor involved. Okay, if this motherfucker takes this kind of steps again and I'm already feeling weaker, right? Secondly, I'm being very sensitive about even though it had been counterproductive, I'm being very sensitive about losing my mother's love and affection. Yeah, which in fact I've lost right now by holding on too tight to her. I mean, I'm not taking any action that she might disapprove. Yeah, trying not to show any hatred to this motherfucker, and it had like a counterproductive effect. My own misery has made me lose my mother, right? And I'm not taking any step to take any action with the gasshole. I don't know, man. Just in this satanic time, everything, even the more you try to do things right, the more you struggle, the more counterproductive effect it has. And the third thing is my grandfather's safety. Yeah, he's already weak, right? And cannot create any kind of chaos or shock for him in the house. Yeah, these 2-3 things they always hold me back. And the other main things that hold me back. And yeah, which is why I did not take any action with this motherfucker. And it's been over a month now. I'm at house and I'm not taking any action, any provocative action. I'm just dying on the inside. And this thing, this laptop thing, I would not have cared for anything right now. And what it and the point. Another point is it has triggered right now is that I already noted it down that you know you see the amount of shit that these people this mostly this fucking gasshole is taken away from me. Yeah, and it has. And I just when I found my laptop, I just went and I hugged it for over 2 minutes, sitting and down and relief. I mean, the amount of chaos that was relieving in me. I had to sit down for 2 minutes to let it breathe out. In the meantime, yeah, I looked at my mirror and I had kept back a physics register of mine, which has like hours and hours of study in my brain included, and it is such a great register. So, and those are the things that define my value, my amount of study that I put in. I mean, I had even forgotten about it. Right now, when I looked at it, I mean, it always happens when I look at my study. I mean, the amount of work and study and brain and I put in on and made notes and I've carved out theories and studies on these subjects and various topics that could be immensely helpful and great beneficial to other people. I mean, those are the things that defines my net value and my words. Yeah, and the kind of things, the circumstances which have made me so, so, even though the circumstances might have started, I don't want to say this, I'm not really, an approximate line is that they have started to make me feel worthless. It's so hard to say this, it's not really true, I'm just, because my lack of strength and patience to find better words, this is what I'm approximately coming at. So, now that is one reason why I had so many books, so many studies I had done, and they had taken away all the books and my notes and registers and everything, my most valuable things. Now, that not only academics, I've done so much philosophical and psychological research and notes, and even spiritual research and notes. They have taken away. I am in no state of determining finding out what more things they have taken. Yeah, obviously a lot. Now I didn't even notice this laptop until now. Yeah. I just noticed it. I mean, the only thing one main thing that had been on my mind was my cross luggage, yeah, which were associated with so much power. I mean, so there was so much kind of valuable stuff that I had, which these fuckers have taken away. So the point I was coming at is the point that I came at, okay, is that if inheriting Bauji's house or taking registration of his house could be the single most important, greatest important thing right now that you can do, and this was it at home. And you gotta do it at any cost. And I mean, being righteous to God, and then being risk of losing my mother, her support, are the things that have been mostly holding me back from taking any action necessary. Okay, along with my obviously the main reason is my scattered thinking or lack of capacity to put myself, my thoughts, and my decisions together to make up for my decisions. But I mean, these are the two things mainly I can think of that have been a factor in holding me back. Yeah, one is faith, religion, Islam, Christianity, right? The religions that I believe in, not doing any sin on these religions. Based, I mean, not doing any sin based out of the religion. Yeah, I don't wanna. And then second is losing my mother's support. She's my only support. Yeah, I mean, you take it on any aspect. She was my only emotional support or love support at the time, but now that if I realize she's also my only financial support, yeah, as clear as the gasshole's enmity is with me, our enmity, and so these are things that hold me back, and I should let nothing hold me back, and inheriting the house. I gotta have a place to keep my stuff safe. Okay. I mean, we keep assuring ourselves, or I keep assuring myself that my stuff is not my value, but the kind of stuff that I have was, notes and books written my notes written out of place. Now these kind of things. Now if I lose my notes, I mean, you forget the study later on. So how is it not? I mean, obviously it won't reduce my value, but it is obviously like, draining the product of my value that added to a work earlier on, right? Those studies and those notes, the only the conclusive result of my value in studies right now is my notes and my books, because in the end I had lost in my school in the final class, the grade 12. No matter how topper I was, I failed in grade 12 because of my depression. Yeah, I mean, failed to achieve a good score, and then obviously left out of college. So until now, my only productive thing except from the knowledge that I have now, which I'm fearing that knowledge can be forgotten and is forgotten, obviously. So the notes are the only physical result, conclusion of my work and value. And if and they're taking most of it, but I gotta save what's left of it. Yeah, I gotta save what's left of it, and the kind of relation that I have, the only safe relation or my only positive relation, at least from my side, is with my mother. Now, if God forbid I lose that, and that is very possible. Yeah, I will lose this place too. Yeah, and I mean, if I'm in a, God forbid, in a weaker state at such a time, they could take away. And in this house, nothing is safe. None of my stuff is safe. Is what I'm saying. Gotta have a place to keep my stuff at least. Although thought this past right now that if I am in a weaker state, I will not take any provocative action like that. That will, provoke them to dispose of my stuff. But if you see that motherfucker or gasshole has been doing this silently until now, he's been, if I realize he's been trying to put me down as much as he fucking can. I cannot think of a single thing that he has done to push me up, normal people would say that he's your father, he paid for your education, and that kind of shit. Okay. Now, apart from that being a formality, yeah, for a parent, he's not the only one. There's my mother and other people in the family. Apart from being that, I have a twin brother. Yeah, who has a good, I mean, who he loves and who has a positive. So yeah, apart from being a son's education as a formality, he had to be equal to both the sons in at least the formal things. So, my education or everything. These things come in formality, and even paying equally for both of these children. That he's not an equally. He has spent like all his money. He's now spending his fucking son to third time abroad, now to US, after 2 times to Canada. So even in the formal things, he has been very unfair to me. In fact, he has done everything he can to put me down. He's taken away my books. He took me out of college. Right? Took away my dog that I loved. He's killing my grandfather, who I love, care the most about. So very clearly he's doing that. He has sucked all his money. Yeah, his pension account has 0 rupees. What the fuck? These are just a few things on the top of my head. Okay, and if I just go by and then he took away my any kind of a lot of valuable stuff, my spiritual stuff. Now that thing is belief based. That could if they had power, I mean that's belief based. They could be having a lot of power for me. Yeah. And then he obviously tortured me so many times and by putting me in mental institutes, which not only hurt me in the foreground as a physical torture, but in the background, I lost my college, lost my education, lost my valuable time, lost my confidence. It hurts. So, I mean, I should not lose confidence, or at least I never thought that I will. But any normal person, it would hurt their confidence. It doesn't to me because I'm above that, and I know what happened to me. Yeah. I know it was done unfairly. I know what I did before was, but if I was anybody else, okay, or looking from anybody else's perspective, putting in mental hospitals, it would hurt any normal person's confidence. I know it's probably very apparent that how lost, confused I am, right? In my self-esteem and even this video, it's clear. I mean, you can see the facial expression on my face. It's like a default state of worry and upset. and it's a mix of all the negative feelings, man. Right down on my face, it's clear. It's a mix of disappointment. It's a mix of frustration. It's a mix of depression. It's a mix of anger. All the negative things that I had to soak in. Yeah. And if there's this one person, this single, there's one single person who is like, there's just one person who is responsible for all this, except God or Satan, except for the higher powers. There's a single person who has done the most or his best to put me in this situation. It's my fucking biological father. You'll never hear me call him my father, okay? This will be the only statement as a reference. I will always call him my biological father. That too, I seriously doubt how can he be my biological father. I was thinking that today. The kind of shit that he has done to me or done to put me down, he cannot be my biological father. I just think that I want a DNA test or something like that. I just had to, reassure myself that I have a twin brother, and his father is definitely him. Look, must be so hard to look at my face right now. Mix of all, as I said, it's a mix of all these negative emotions buried in. Fear not, for I am with you, but be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, yes, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. All these things, they sound so true, and even they are true, when you were going through a good phase, like I was in 2016, when you were, that is the kind of feelings you have when God is helping you. But when He's not, and you just try to convince that this shit is true, but this doesn't happen. Every day it's been like a month now. Every day I've been, it's been so long, I've been reading this Bible and its verses, and doing my fucking best to reach out to God, and hoping this is true, but I don't get any help, man. Not getting any help. And I'm so fucking surprised on that I'm holding so much myself. I'm holding myself so much to not sin. And I do not sin. Even the basics, that lying, I'm not even not even lying, despite how my family's lying to me, and I can see through the lies. I have the potential to lie and get away with lies very well. I've been a psychopath in the past, and I'm not even lying, let alone manipulating or cheating. And still, God is not helping me. no man, what's the point of this video I'm making this? No point, neither is this a vlog for myself, neither is this addressed to anybody else. I just started this off, I think, as a small vlog to about that laptop incident and my, that house inheritance incidents. Then it turned to something that I'm like it usually happens, man. When you're on a video, especially with a camera facing you, you tend to start making a video as if it's addressed to somebody else. And I hate when this happens, when this becomes a mixture. I was making the video myself, and now it turned to be something that's been addressed to somebody else. And I'm thinking of